Hi everyone! Welcome to the first of hopefully many devlog videos on this channel, that I will probably upload weekly. The topic of this very first devlog video is going to once again be my new Minecraft mod that I already covered in the first video on this channel, the Realm of Dark Chaos. While the mod itself is in a finished state and already released, I'm not quite done with it yet, as there's some more content that I intend to add to it still. For example, it's still missing trees, but I also want to add some other smaller things, like some more small structures and probably also another mob. After updating the Realm of Dark Chaos content-wise, I have to also backport it to 1.14 and update all of my mods to the newest Minecraft version and also fix some bugs with my older mods. And after all of that is done, I have some more plans for some other small Minecraft mods that I want to develop in the future, but I don't think we'll get to that in this video anyways. Alright, that's my, I guess you could say, development roadmap for now, so let's see how much of this I will actually get done this week. Okay, so I just generated a brand new world, and the task of the day is going to be rather simple, at least I hope so, I guess. We are finally going to add the Rodwood trees to the dimension. I've been meaning to do this for a while now already, and I've already finished the textures for the Rodwood log and the Rodwood leaves, but as you can see, those blocks aren't in the game yet, but you know, we're going to add those in a second, and I guess I'll be right back when I added those to the game, so see you in a second. And with that, we are right back. I just added the first couple of new blocks, which are Rodwood logs, Rodwood wood, I guess, you know, the one where the side isn't exposed, that you get by combining a couple of log blocks, I believe. I also added stripped Rodwood logs and stripped wood block thingies. I hope all of those work properly, and they should be right down here in this menu. Let's see. Yeah, I think I messed up somewhere. Oops. Yeah, let's... Yeah, this doesn't seem to be quite right. I'll be right back. 1 second, please. And hey, would you look at that, it's finally working. There are our wood blocks, both the stripped versions and the non-stripped versions. However, I believe there's still a small little problem, and that is if I go ahead and take, I guess, a diamond axe, the axe doesn't really matter, and place down some oak logs, and right-click them, I can strip them, but I can't do that with a custom wood, because that is special behavior that I'm probably gonna have to build a workaround for, because regular Minecraft actually has a hard-coded list inside of the item axe class on which blocks are strippable and which ones aren't, and obviously oak is strippable because it's a vanilla wood type, I guess, but my custom wood isn't, so I'm gonna have to build a workaround for that. But I've already got something in mind. I'm probably just gonna override the blocks on right-click behavior or something and build a workaround that way. I'll be right back when I put that into the game, and then I'm going to show you how it works. So, see you in a bit. Alrighty then, I had a small little crash due to some init fighting, some initialization fighting, I guess. Forge was like, hey man, your blocks aren't initialized yet, and my mod was like, are you sure about that? And then it just crashed and stuff, but I hope it works now. Let's try. That looks good. That looks even better. So yeah, it's working. As you can see, I can place a huge amount, a huge load of these. I just realized I can't... That's interesting. So I can't place them... I can only place them upright, huh? Is that what you're trying to tell me here? Oh, no, I know why. Okay, yeah. So I know what's happening here. I'm gonna explain that to you in a second. Anyways, yeah, what I'm doing right now is normally the game uses the axe itself, and the axe just checks, you know. If I right-click this, the axe is like, is this a wood block? And if this is a wood block, I'm gonna strip it if I can. See, this one I can't strip, obviously, because it's already stripped. But that doesn't work for custom wood. For my custom wood, I tell the wood block to check whether it's an axe the player is holding. So I check whether it's a tool, and if it's a tool, whether that tool has the axe tag. And then I strip the wood, but I just realized that I always say, hey man, check that, and regardless of what it is, just say, hey man, yeah, sure, you can do an action now. Which basically means that it's always like, yeah, you just did an action. You can't place a block here. You're interacting with a block, so you can't place a block. So if I crouch and shift, I can do that, but only if I do that. So only if I crouch, I can currently place blocks next to it, and that's easily fixed though. So I'll be right back and fix that real quick. So be right back. Okay, I just restarted the game. Let's see whether this still works. All right, that's good news. I can still strip that block. Can I also strip this block? Yes, I can also strip the full block variant, I guess. And now, the moment of truth. Yes, this is now working. Perfect. So, yeah, I just fixed that. by not always telling it that, you know, that you're currently interacting with a block. Instead, it's now only counts as interacting with a block when you actually are stripping it with an axe, like a diamond axe. Just to be sure, I'm gonna also use another axe, for example, a gold axe. Yeah, that also works just fine. And that is another bug. You can technically also strip already stripped blocks, I guess. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that as well, but that's also another small fix. I'm not gonna do another extra cut for that fix because that's really easily fixed. Anyways, yeah, the next time I'm going to start recording again is probably when the leaves block's already implemented. So yeah, see you then, I guess, which could be potentially in quite a while, but I don't think so. But it should be rather simple and easy to put that into the game as well. So yeah, see you in a bit probably. And with that, we are back again. I just added the leaves. I also think, yeah, I fixed this bug, so you can now only strip the bark of non-stripped blocks. So the stripped blocks cannot be stripped again, obviously. Well, not so obviously, because before you could do that. But I also add the leaves now, so I really hope they work. Let's see. There they are. Those look pretty good, I think. I hope. Yeah, they look pretty nice. They pretty much behave like leaves should, I hope. Let's see whether I can look through the world or something weird like that, but I don't think I can. No, I can't. Alright, so let's just hope. I think they should stay right here and shouldn't despawn. Let's try that out real quick. Let's place some down way over here and see whether those despawn or not. Normally leaves despawn, obviously. I think it's random tick speed, right? Let's set that to like 50 or something. So, okay. So normally they should now despawn after a while, I think. Let's check with other leaves. Are they even in this category normally? Are they decoration? Oh, leaves are decoration. Maybe I should switch the category then. Anyways, let's try. So, do you despawn? You do not why do you not despawn, though? Shouldn't they despawn? Or is it because I'm in creative mode? Maybe game mode. What is it? Survival. Let's switch difficulty to peaceful so I don't get absolutely murdered by animals. Alright, so for some reason they don't despawn at all. I think they normally should despawn after a while though. Let's set the random tick speed maybe to something absolutely ridiculous like 300 or something like that. Nope, nothing is despawning. I guess maybe they only despawn, like maybe they never despawn when the player manually places them down and only ever despawn when the game generates them in the shape of a tree or something. That might be a thing. I'm not sure. Let's switch back to creative mode though, and let's do exactly that. Let's get to implementing trees then, I guess, and that's something I can fix later if it shouldn't work at that point on its own, I guess, or whatever. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna start implementing trees now, or more importantly, I'm gonna look into how vanilla does it and then try to replicate that, I guess. And I hope I'm gonna have success with that. If not, you're gonna get some pretty, I guess, funny pictures of not correctly looking trees at all, or trees that don't look correct at all, or whatever. So yeah, see you in a second. So first of all, let's start off with the most basic thing, and that is I just checked in the wiki, and apparently player placed leaves never despawn. That didn't used to be this way, but apparently they changed that, and now player placed leaves never despawn, so that's a thing now. So I can't reliably test whether leaves decay and despawn without having a tree generate naturally in the world. Which, while we're on the topic of that, I found something called tree feature, and I just pretty much copied that and cobbled together some code. So either we are going to get, I believe it's trees, well, custom trees in the shape of, I believe, birch trees or some grade A nightmare fuel now. So I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna see. I'm hoping for birch trees, obviously. But you know, nightmare fuel also sounds pretty sweet. It's like it's always funny when the game just generates complete garbage. It's always funny to look at that. So let's see. Let's see what it is. It should generate trees in the plains biome. So let's see. Are we in the plains biome right now? We are. Where does it say? We're in the mountains biome, so that doesn't really help my cause. Is this a plains biome? This is a plains biome. It is not generating that chunk right there. It is now. Okay. I'm not seeing any trees so far. Let's. Yeah, that's interesting. Tell you what. Let's teleport to something 94 is my current coordinate and something something. I don't care. Just some other place entirely, and let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing too many trees around here, I'm gonna be honest. Actually, what's that? Is that? No, it's just stone, okay, that's just... Is this a Lost Hope Mountain? No, this is Corrupt Plains. This is Corrupted Plains. I'm not sure why there are no trees around here, but I'm sure we'll either see some soon, or they don't generate correctly yet, or something like that. Or maybe they can't generate because there is no grass or dirt below them, because you know my custom dirt and my custom grass obviously aren't dirt or grass. They are just a derivative of that, pretty much. So the game doesn't treat them as if they are grass or dirt. So that might be a thing. I'm not sure. I'll be right back, I guess. I'm gonna try to figure out why in the hell this is not working correctly. But yeah, the game should generate birch trees, or like trees in the shape of birch trees, but made out of my custom wood now and custom leaves, but it isn't quite working yet. I'll be right back. After looking into it a bit more, it turns out that I think the game checks whether the sapling you provide the tree generator with, but the game actually checks whether that sapling you provided with can be planted on the floor below the tree, so on this floor, aka on my putrid grass block. And obviously that doesn't work, at least I think it doesn't work. I haven't actually checked that. Let's just take, what is it, birch sapling? It should be birch sapling. Yeah, you can't place a birch sapling here, so yeah. That didn't work, obviously, and the game just rejected any trees that couldn't have their birch saplings planted down there. And yeah, I'm currently still using birch saplings for debug testing. I'm gonna add proper saplings later, obviously. And there... Oh, wow. That's interesting. So it works, but it also sort of doesn't work because trees grow on top of trees now. Yeah, I just removed that check and was like, yeah, it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna call it a day here and allow them to spawn anywhere, but it turns out if you don't do that check, apparently they stack on top of each other. That's the thing. Also, it generates way too many trees for my... in my opinion, anyways. Well, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. That's a lot of trees. I guess I'm gonna implement more than just one tree type because they look very samey, in my opinion. Gonna implement at least one more other tree appearance type thing. And I'm gonna make sure that they don't stack on top of each other, so I guess I'm gonna reintroduce that check, but I'm gonna just formulate it a bit differently so they actually can like grow on my custom grass. I guess I'm gonna make them grow exclusively on my custom grass. And yeah. But wow, that looks pretty cool actually. It looks pretty nice. They look a bit samey, as I already said. I'm gonna have to do something about that. And they stack on top of each other currently. I wonder whether I can get like 3 or 4 trees to stack on top of each other. That would look absolutely ridiculous, I think. Actually, yeah, right here. Speak of a devil. 1, 2, 3. Three trees on top of each other. What the hell? That looks completely insane. Yeah, this doesn't look entirely correct, but it still looks pretty cool already. And by the way, I'm gonna add in a custom biome later, like some foresty kind of deal, like a forest biome. So you won't have these heavily wooded areas all over the place, instead just in small forest areas. And yeah, they also generate vanilla bees. That's actually also a thing. I just realized that. Yeah, I read about that in the code. I was like, oh, there's a chance for bees to spawn. That's cool, I guess. And yeah, indeed, they do spawn beehives sometimes. That's kind of cool. I think I'm gonna keep that. I might put in like chaos bees or something. That might be a neat idea. I don't know. I'll put that onto my to-do list and decide on whether I put in chaos bees or not later, I guess. I'm probably not gonna put in custom bees though. I don't know. It sounds like a lot of work for a very small feature. That's like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna do that. I'm just gonna stick to vanilla bees. Those are nice as well. All right. So I'm gonna get back to fixing some of this stuff, aka mostly the tree stacking thing. It's looking kind of ridiculous. And I'm probably also gonna put in more trees, but I think I'm gonna do all of that later. I think I'm done for the day actually. I'm pretty happy with how far I got today. And yeah, tomorrow we'll add in some more tree variety and a new biome, as I already said. That's the plan for tomorrow, I think. Maybe even more stuff, but for now, this is all I'm gonna do today. So yeah, we're gonna see about all of that tomorrow, I guess. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Alright. It's a brand new day right now, and yeah, I didn't sleep too well, to be honest, so I'm probably not going to get too much work done today, but I'm gonna try to get a fair bit done. And that's why my plan for the day is rather short as well, I guess you could say. My plan for the day mainly is to get the saplings for these trees working, because I figured out that getting them to work properly will probably mean adding the saplings for them first of all, and then, you know, telling the game that the sapling that's actually used by those trees is their sapling and stuff, and that way they should be able to spawn properly in this dimension. But in my experience, plants are kind of a bit finicky to get to work properly, so I'm going to limit myself to that for the plan for today, for now. I might add more, but yeah, I'm mainly gonna try to tackle adding the saplings to these trees for now. I already have the texture all done already, so all I have to do now is, yeah, I'm gonna have to add them as a block to the game, so I'll see you in a bit when that is done, I guess. So yeah, see you in a bit. So for you people watching, something like, I don't know, a couple of seconds have just passed, but for me, well, let's just say I worked for roughly 40 minutes on this or something like that, so it took me quite a while just to get a small little sapling block into the game. So yeah, it took a while, but it's in now, at least I think so. I had at least one crash, maybe even 2 crashes. Yeah, I had 2 crashes or something like that, but I fixed all of that and I think it's working now, maybe. Let's see, it should be under decorations, I believe. There it is, that's what it looks like currently. I'm pretty happy with how that texture looks as well. Let's just... oh no, I can't place it. Well, that's a thing, apparently. Oh, the random tick speed, yeah, about that. Game rule, random tick speed, what is, I think 3 is the default, right? That should be the default value. Yeah, I can't place it anywhere. Where's grass block? Let's place a grass block. I'm pretty sure my override just, yeah, my override didn't work. Also, ignore the weird black stuff on the texture. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Let's just take bone meal and see whether at least this works. Yeah, that seems to work just fine. That's nice. So that works. Okay. So that definitely works, but the planting still doesn't quite work, and the texture is kind of not looking very pretty, let's just put it that way, and yeah. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to work on that a bit more, so see you in a second. Okay, and this was another quick little 1-minute cut or 2-minute cut or something like that, but I think I fixed it now. I just looked into my own code and yeah, it's fixed now. I just pretty much copied what I did to achieve these plants to work. You know, I just pretty much copied the code I used to get these plants to work, and now the saplings are working as well, and they're working just fine. So that's pretty good, pretty nice. And I believe if I go... also they shouldn't, yeah, I can't place them on other blocks. So let's just plop one down right here, I guess, and then bone meal it and see. And yeah, it grows into a nice little tree, as expected. So that's neat, that's nice. So that's working now. So I've got working saplings now. Let's grab some more bone meal actually, like so. And switch into survival mode, I guess, and test it out in survival mode, whether it also works there, but it should also work in survival mode normally anyways. And it doesn't. I'm not sure. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go somewhere else. Let's go somewhere where there's definitely no other tree around, I guess. Like no other tree that can prevent a new tree from spawning, that's what I'm trying to say. Like right here, this looks pretty good, pretty promising, and it's working. Alright, so it's also working in survival mode, that's pretty good, that's pretty decent. And I guess I should probably explain how this works for you people who are interested in how my code actually works. It's pretty simple. First of all, you gotta tell the block you want to place it on that you know, that your plant block is allowed to be placed on that. You have to tell your plant block that indeed it also is allowed to be placed on the block you want to place it on, so in this case my custom grass or my custom dirt, for example. And yeah, beyond that, you have to provide a sapling with a so-called tree, which is just a configured feature pretty much. So you have your feature, and then you configure that feature, and you pass that in as a so-called tree to your sapling, and then your sapling can generate the tree you provided with. And yeah, the tree you provide to your sapling actually is, apparently, is a different tree than the trees you generate at World Gen. So I can, in theory, I can tell the World Gen that this sapling generates this tree, but when the player plays down the tree, like so, I could make it generate an entirely different tree, which it isn't doing right now, but I could make it do that, I guess. Actually, it is kind of doing that, I think, because, whoopsie, I just touched the mic, I'm sorry. I think I just copied the tree setup from the vanilla oak tree, and I think it uses a slightly different setup to the World Gen setup that I use, so I think the leaf patterns might be a tad bit different, but nothing too noticeable. Oh, or also, sorry in case I sound a bit more silent than usually. I think I'm usually talking up a bit more, so I'm a bit louder usually, because, you know, I'm kind of recording in the middle of the night right now. It's quite late already, and I'm trying to not disturb other people, so with my noise I mean, obviously. So that's why I'm a bit more silent than usual, but I think I'm gonna wrap this up right here anyways for today. As I already said, I'm quite tired already. Didn't sleep very well tonight, so I'm probably gonna go to bed pretty damn soon. But I'm pretty happy with what I got done so far, and I believe if I fly a bit over here now, the trees should now generate properly in the way I intend them to generate, or the way they should generate, and I think they do, yeah. So tomorrow I'll probably also, I think there is, nah, it's fine. I wasn't sure when I was watching back my own video footage of yesterday whether I could look through the world if a lot of leaves were stacked on top of each other, but I think that's actually not an issue. No, it's not. But yeah, so tomorrow I'll probably add an entirely new biome and add some more tree variety to the game, so, you know, I don't have the same copy-pasted tree all over the place like right now. This is all the same tree pretty much, just copy-pasted all over the place, but I'll fix that tomorrow, and I'll also confine it to its own custom little forest biome, so I don't have trees loitering around everywhere or whatever. Trees spammed all over the place like it is right now. I do still want my normal plains biome to be my plains biome without trees, or with like very little trees to no trees. And I want to have a separate small little forest biome for my trees, so that's what I'm gonna put into the game tomorrow, probably anyways. And yeah, see you tomorrow then, I guess. I'll probably go to bed pretty soon now. It is a brand new day right now, and we are going to start the day off with a little test and check or whatever that I forgot to do yesterday. And that simply is, do the leaves despawn? And the answer is, I think they do? Question mark. Let's check with this tree as well. The trees are kind of weird actually. I would expect them to have more, like they just kind of end, and then there's, don't vanilla trees have another piece of wood right there? Isn't that how vanilla trees work? Because these ones just have the leaves kind of attached to the top and no wood that actually goes into the leaves themselves. That's kind of weird. Is that normal? Is that normal for trees to be like that? I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, but it looks like the leaves indeed are decaying. They don't drop anything yet because I haven't put in drop tables yet for the leaves so far, and neither have I done that for, well, any other blocks that I added so far. So these wood blocks don't have proper drop tables either. But yeah, I have no idea why there's no wood inside of there, inside of the leaves. Let me check real quick actually. Do you have, well, that's weird. This tree just consists of one piece of wood. What? So the leaves kind of just override the wood or something? That's weird. That's super weird. What's going on here? So this tree seriously just has two. Okay, something's still wrong here. I'm gonna have to look into that, I think. But yeah, the overall plan today, other than that, is to just add a bit more tree variety and probably also already add the new biome, the forest biome for the trees, and maybe also already add the wood variation blocks. So I probably won't do that today. We probably won't get that far today, but we're gonna see. For now, I'm probably just gonna look into why in the hell the trees end abruptly and it starts generating leaves for some reason. That's kind of weird. I'm gonna try and figure out why that happens, I guess. So, be right back. Alrighty, so it did take me I guess a second or two, but I think I figured it out now, maybe at least. So I think this has to do with block tags, and I just added the wood to the logs block tag and the leaves to the leaves block tag. You can tag blocks in Minecraft and yada yada, and that's what I just did, and yeah, I think it's working now. Yes, it is. That looks great. The wood is now actually growing into the leaves as intended, and I'm gonna take a slight little flight, whatever, over here, I guess. Is this the direction I came from, or is it not? I'm not sure. I sure hope I didn't come from this direction, because in that case these trees are all going to be wrong. But no, I didn't. They generate exactly as intended now, so that's pretty great. And the next thing I'm gonna do now probably is going to be yeah, adding some more variety to these, some more variety to the trees, aka adding so-called fancy trees. The code calls them fancy trees. Those are just the big variants of the oak trees, I believe. I'm probably gonna add those, and maybe a bit more variety in terms of how these trees look in general. And yeah, that's gonna be that. And wow, that flower generated in a really weird spot right here. That's a funny looking flower right there. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get right back into the code and gonna see you in a second, I guess. So bye for now. And we're back, however, just for another quick little test run, I guess. I just implemented the so-called fancy trees, and I just swapped the generator, aka I just swapped these trees out of the generator for fancy trees, and as you can see, oh wow, this is the exact chunk border where it stopped generating normal trees, I guess. Actually. So, the last thing you just heard right there was probably me saying actually, and that is because, yeah, well, the game actually just crashed. I think I fixed the crash. I'm gonna check, and then I'm gonna explain to you why it crashed. I really hope I fixed it. Please don't crash again. It should crash any second now. Should the crash happen again, because I tested it again and it crashed again, and then I fixed it, and I think it's fixed now. But yeah, as you can see, the trees generate just fine now. There is a chunk border right, where was it? I think right here, where there's actually a tree that's just half generated, but it's still kind of alive. The leaves are kind of alive because they're still connected to this tree, I guess. But so why did it crash? The answer is there should be a graveyard somewhere around here, and the graveyards have the text on their signs set to something, so they always say like rest in peace and then some name. And for some reason, I'm guessing a tree generated in place of a sign or something and overrode. Oh, and actually the trees aren't actually working entirely properly as they generate a block of dirt below, which is kind of an issue. I'm gonna have to fix that in a second, I guess. But yeah, there was a graveyard, and the graveyard tried to set up its sign with text and stuff, and it turned out that I'm guessing the sign got overwritten with a tree. I'm guessing, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's probably what happened. That's what caused it to crash, because it still tried to set up the text to a sign that didn't exist anymore. But I have to say, those fancy trees do indeed look quite fancy. Wow, this is a huge tree. It looks pretty cool. It's pretty neat, and they all are looking less uniform as well. So, you know, they are not as uniform. They are, you know, you still have some of the small trees are still generating actually, which is kind of weird. I'm guessing it's random how many branches the trees generate, and sometimes they probably generate just 0 branches, I'm guessing, which is why there are still some of the small trees around. But it's looking pretty neat. I'm gonna mix those trees, mix and match, I guess, some of the small trees, and let the game generate some small trees and some big trees, stuff like that, and yeah. But I'm also gonna have to fix this dirt stuff. I didn't find the function that generates a dirt block for each and every tree that gets generated by the tree feature in the fancy tree feature class thing, but I'm guessing it's still there somewhere, so I'm gonna have to take that out. And after that, those trees should work just fine, and yeah. So see you in a bit. I'm gonna look if I can find that, look into the code and try to find that line that generates dirt blocks beneath the trees, and I'm gonna fix that, and then I'm gonna be right back. Actually, maybe I'm gonna be right back when I put in the new biome already as well. That might be a wise and smart thing to do. So yeah, but see you in a bit. Alrighty then, so we're back again. I haven't quite put in the new biomes, or biome, or whatever, so I didn't quite do that yet. There is no new biomes in the game. I hope the game's not gonna crash again now. But what I did now is I told the game to mix and match the trees now, so there should be a mixed bunch and mixed variety of trees now. So it should mix both the big, huge trees and the normal trees now, which I think it's doing from here on out, probably, and also the dirt bug should be fixed. Yeah, the dirt bug is fixed now, so it's mixing trees from here on out now. So yeah, these are the regular trees and these are the big trees, as you can tell, and I think if I understood the code correctly, then it should generate 80% of the small trees and around 20% big trees now. I think. I'm not entirely sure and not entirely convinced of that, but we're gonna try to figure that out real quick. That looks like it might be an 80-20 split, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, that might be. Yeah, that might be correct. I hope that's correct. But either way, it isn't really that important. as long as it's just, you know, mixing trees and not just generating one kind of tree, as it's not looking as samey as it was looking before now. It's nice and mixed now, some big trees, some small trees, just how I wanted it to look, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with my results so far. I guess the next, oh, that's a huge cave, by the way. I guess the next thing to add is going to be, and we found a big structure as well, I guess, by accident. Hello there. But yeah, the next thing to add is probably going to be the biomes. As I already pointed out, I'm going to add a new biome, maybe even two, because I got a couple of nice suggestions of things I could add to the dimension. And one of them was to add super high spiky mountains, so I might add those as well. Only very rarely, so you know, you don't get spiky huge mountains all over the place, but maybe I'm gonna tell the world generator to very rarely, instead of generating normal mountains, generate super spiky high mountains or something like that. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we'll see, I guess, and yeah. See in a bit when I added the forest biome. For now, that's the first thing I'm gonna add. And we'll see about the spiky mountains biome later on, I guess. Let's begin with the forest biome, though. I tweaked the tree generator a fair bit now, so I think it should work as I intended to now. At least I hope. So there's like a 20% chance for a single tree to spawn per chunk in the what's it called? In the plains biome now, which should be these trees, I think. So it's a pretty rare chance for trees to spawn now, so you get like a tree or two every once in a while, but really only one tree per chunk at max. I might tweak that a little bit in the future, I don't know. Looks like the trees get generated very, very sparingly now. Maybe a bit too sparingly, actually. Also, is it like nighttime now? I'm not sure. Let's set time day. No, it's time set, right? Oopsie. Time set day. Alright, for some reason the render distance just decreased itself again. I think my RAM is whining about being full again or something. For some reason modded Minecraft always manages to do that. Don't ask me why. But yeah, so just as a heads up, should the game crash in a second, that's not because the game crashes out of nowhere, but because my RAM decides to be full again. For reasons I'm not sure of. But anyways, let's search for a forest biome, I guess, which those are in the game now and they should generate, I guess. I mean, they should. Maybe they won't, because I messed something up, but I'm pretty sure they should generate. Because these sparse trees still should only be the 20% chance trees that generate every once in a while in the plains biome, because I figured why not also have some trees in the plains biome, but you know, only very rarely, because I didn't like the idea of having trees all over the plains biome. I really like the fact that the plains biome is very, well, plain. I guess I'm gonna do a little cut and search for a forest biome off camera, and we'll be right back once I've found one, because they should be somewhat rare, but they shouldn't be this rare, I don't think. So yeah, see you in a bit. So I finally fixed it, and you can pretty much see my mistake right here. This is a rodwood forest now. Also, I tweaked some other values, but why are there so many flowers here? What's going on over here? That's a load of flowers, man. And up there as well. There's a lot of flowers up here. But yeah, that's not what this is about. So as you can see, this is where the world generator changed for the first time, and it changed because I changed how the rodwood forests get generated. As you can see, this is considered to be rodwood forest. I told it that it now isn't generated with a, I think, 30% chance into any corrupted plains or desert biome. Instead, I just told it that it's generated with a around 25% chance in general between between a plains biome and a mountain biome. So the forests are now always between, or should in theory now always be between mountain and plains biomes. By the way, I also upped the chance for trees to spawn in plains biomes to no trees on average, with a 15% instead of a 20% chance for groups of up to 3 trees instead of a 20% chance for just 1 tree. But yeah, as you can see, it's working now. We got our plains right here, and the plains end right at this point, and instead of plains we now have a bit of foresty terrain. Beyond that, this should probably be a mountain. Yeah, this is a mountain. In the mountains there are no trees, which I think I'm going to keep that way, but it seems, I mean, not necessarily logical, but that seems fine. I like the idea of that. Then we got another bit of forest right here around the mountains, so we got mountainous areas around the mountainous areas. We now have some forests, as you can see, and those are working just fine. And Beyond that, we have our plains biomes that still look roughly the same as before. So pretty plain as intended. Not a lot of stuff going on right here, with some trees mixed in for good measure now every once in a while. And I think the groups are always have a size of 3 trees. Now this one is definitely a 2-tree group, so that's perfect. So it doesn't actually always generate 3 trees, instead it generates between 1 and 3, which is pretty much what I intended it to look like anyway. So we got some sparse trees around here, and then we got some mountainous areas with forests around them usually, which is pretty neat. So yeah, but the dimension now also has some forested areas, and I think I'm gonna actually call it a day right now. Also, by the way, I think if I turn on monsters, you should be able to see that there shouldn't be any monsters at all spawning here, because I don't think I've set up spawning for this biome yet. So that's something we're gonna have to do tomorrow. We're gonna have to set up spawning of stuff like, you know, the cows and the pigs in the forested areas as well. And after that, I'm probably also gonna add the spiked mountains that I already mentioned earlier. The spiky mountains, spiked mountains, jagged mountains, whatever. You know what I mean. The very high mountains. That's another thing I'm gonna do tomorrow, and some other stuff. But yeah, I'm calling it a day for now. I think I worked on this mod for some good amount of time for the day, and I'm pretty happy with how far we got. So I'm gonna keep working on this tomorrow, and yeah. So see you tomorrow, aka in a couple of seconds from your perspective. Yeah. Hello everyone, it is another brand new day, and I managed to completely oversleep and destroy my sleep schedule entirely again, so there's that. But yeah, I noticed that my recordings were way too long in general, so I've got like 30 minutes of video already, and I'm not even close to being done with this video, so I'm gonna have to cut some of that out, and I'm going to try to shorten the stuff I'm gonna record in the future from now on, I guess. So I'm gonna try to be not as in-depth, not too in-depth in my recordings and stuff. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna finish this short segment right here as well. I don't really have a plan for today. I'm just gonna try to get as far as humanly possible, and I'm also gonna try to keep the following video segments as short as possible compared to before. So yeah, so I'll get back to you once I added new stuff to the game, I guess. So see you in a bit. Earlier in this video I mentioned that I want to add spiky mountains to the game, and as you can probably see right now, I did do that now. And yeah, this is a regular mountain right here, apparently. It isn't that high actually, but this is regular mountain terrain, and as you can see, this one here, this one, and I believe this bit over here as well, these are all spiky mountains as far as I know, and as you can see, yeah, they're really spiky, really high, and very volatile in terms of terrain. Some of it even reaches above the clouds, which I think that looks really cool, and yeah, that's the new mountain, or the new mountains in the game. There's a 50-50 split between both the mountains now, so whenever the game generated just regular Mountains of Lost Hope before, there is now a 50-50 chance that it will generate, well, the old mountains, or instead generate spiky Mountains of Lost Hope instead. So nothing really changed except for the fact that the mountains are, that the mountains have a chance to be a bit more spiky on average now, which I think is kind of neat and kind of a nice addition to the game. And wow, that mountain right there, for example, is really high and spiky as well. But yeah, let's get right back to the coding, and I'll see you in a bit, I guess. Alrighty, so as you can see, I pretty much tied up all of the loose ends now, and by that I mean, as you can see, I added all of the rodwood variation blocks, like, you know, slabs, planks, also buttons, pressure plates. It turns out wood blocks have a lot of variation blocks, also doors for example, and I added all of those blocks to the game now, so they're all in the game. I also added crafting recipes and drop tables to all of the blocks, and for example also the entity spawns. As you might be able to remember, the new biomes didn't have entity spawns yet. I also added that, so I pretty much tied up all of the loose ends, so to speak, and that took me the better part of a couple of hours actually, but that includes some breaks. But yeah, that's all done now, and I think I'm gonna call it quits for the day, I guess. Yeah, I'm done for the day with working on the mod. I added quite a bunch of stuff, as you can see, you know, slabs and stairs and fences and buttons and doors. Actually, this door isn't named properly yet. I guess I'm gonna have to fix that in a second, but yeah, I'm done for the day. I added all of this stuff and it's working, as you can see. Also the buttons and stuff are also working. Pressure plates, for example. Buttons also work, but I didn't place one near a door or something. I guess I could place one right here just to demonstrate it. Yeah, that also works. So yeah, I'm done for the day, and I guess see you tomorrow when I add the finalizing and finishing touches and the last couple of things. I hope I get all that done tomorrow. Otherwise, see you tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, it's not a lot of stuff missing in this mod's update. Whatever, you know what I mean. Hello everyone, it's another brand new day. I didn't actually record yesterday or work on the mod either, so I didn't make any progress yesterday, but I am intent on, well, finishing the mod up today pretty much, so adding all the remaining features that I still want to add. And one of them is actually already finished, but I haven't tested it yet, and I want to test it off camera first, so, you know, I already at least somewhat know what I'm dealing with. I just, you know, I put it in, but I haven't tested it yet, so yeah, see you in a sec. I'm gonna test it, and then I'm gonna show it to you on video. Okay, and there we are. This is the new feature. This is the Chaos Skeleton, which I pretty much just added. The problem, as you might be able to tell, is that it's currently not really looking like a skeleton, and instead it's just looking like a zombie for some reason. So the model isn't applied correctly, and as you can see, there's some texture bugs there. But this is roughly what it's supposed to look like. Not quite though, as you can, and the feet also look kind of wrong. Both arms and feet seem to be mapped wrongfully or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna fix that in a sec, and yeah, see you in a bit. I'm just gonna try to fix that for now, and then I'll show you the finished product, pretty much. But yeah, as expected, this didn't go smoothly so far, so I'll have to fix that real quick, and then I'll be right back. And there we are, there we go. It seems to be fixed now. I just had to tweak pretty much one line in code that I applied in the wrong way or something like that. But yeah, whatever, it's working now. Working as intended. Let's switch to survival mode real quick and see. Yep, that looks good, and it's also shooting arrows as intended, which isn't too surprising to me, as I pretty much just copied the vanilla skeleton class, and yeah, it's pretty much just a clone of a vanilla skeleton with some slightly modified stats, so it's a bit tougher and stuff like that. Also, another thing I want to test real quick. I hope this works. I hope this skeleton can pick up armor, because not all of the skeletons can pick up armor. There's like a set chance when you spawn them in that they can actually pick up armor. Where is it? It's the skeleton entity right here. Let's just spawn in a whole bunch of them. What about you? Can any of you pick up this armor, please? I guess not. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly do a small short little cut and be right back. It took me a second to figure out, but I wasn't easy, and yeah, mobs usually only get the ability to pick stuff up and to actually spawn with armor on hard difficulty or normal, but mostly on hard difficulty. So I just switch difficulty real quick, and as you can see, this skeleton right here is wearing animated armor and it's working just fine, and this one over there has some enchanted golden armor and a full gold set, which actually I think the odds of that aren't all that high, but they actually spawned with that, so that's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, skeletons seem to be working just fine, and let's tackle the last thing, the last two things in fact, which are going to be forest shrines and what else was it? Right, forest and mountain shrines. Those are the last two things I want to add, which are two new structures that I haven't designed yet. I'm gonna design those in vanilla Minecraft, and I'm gonna see you in a bit when I've designed the general look and yeah, the general visuals of those. So yeah, see you in a second when I've done that. Alrighty, and as you probably can tell, this actually is vanilla Minecraft and built out of vanilla Minecraft blocks. So both this thing, and this is probably going to be the forest shrine altar thing, whatever. As you can see, this is built out of oak, but in the mod it's actually going to be generated into the world, built out of rodwood, obviously. Well, this is going to be the mountain shrine, and this is going to be generated out of chaos brick instead of regular, what are they called, stone bricks, obviously. And these are going to be the ornament blocks, but I'm using these as a substitute. As you can see, these are some rather simple, primitive, small structures with some loot in the center of them. But yeah, I'm not intending to add some huge structures in this update. I only want to add some small, nice little additional structures so you can find some more loot in the world. That's the main purpose of these structures. So yeah, this is what they're probably going to look like. I'm pretty happy with how they look, especially with this one, as I want to have a nice little small structure in size. I mean, it's higher than the forest structure, but yeah, this structure is nice and small in these two dimensions, in the X and Z dimension, which is kind of important because mountains tend to be very spiky. As I already mentioned, I showed you earlier that I added a new spiky mountains biome, so yeah, there won't be too much flat ground, so I think it will look best to only generate stuff that isn't too large in terms of X and Z coordinate size. So yeah, which is why I'm pretty happy that this thing does look pretty good and is pretty small and compact. And yeah, the forest shrine also is pretty small and compact, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks, so that's probably how we are going to look. That's probably what I'm going to put into the game. I'm going to have to transfer these into code now, pretty much, or like duplicate them in code. That will take quite a while probably, but when that's done, I'm pretty much done with this update. So yeah, see you in a second when they are actually in the game. And by in a second, I mean, in terms of my point of view, in a couple of hours probably. Alright, so see you in a bit. So, we are back in modded Minecraft. I'm hearing a hellhound right there. Alright, sup buddy. Anyways, we are back in modded Minecraft because, yeah, the first structure is done now. It is right over here, in a nice little forest biome, as you can see, surrounded by a lot of trees. We've got our nice little forest shrine right here. Currently there should be no loot in here. Yeah, there's no loot to speak of in here because I haven't put the actual loot table into the game yet. I will do that later. But as you can see, this is working as intended and looking quite nice, I personally think. By the way, I changed a little bit. I changed the structure a little bit over here at this point right here and at this point, and yeah, on all of the sides. In the initial build I had a slab right here, but it was easier for me to generate this with a stair actually, because as you might be able to tell, this up here and this down here looks exactly the same, which actually is the case. I'm generating the same structure twice. Also hi to this cow right there that apparently thinks this is its personal little shrine here. Apparently, at least it's you know, walking around the place as if it's owning the thing. But whatever. Yeah, this is the first shrine. I'm going to actually put the mountain shrine into the game tomorrow probably actually, because this actually took me quite a lot of time, as I already explained earlier and pretty much already expected. This took me like an hour or two, maybe even more, to actually put into the game. I kind of expected to put both of the structures in that time frame into the game, but I only managed to put this one into the game in that time frame. So I'll come back tomorrow and yeah, finish the structures up pretty much. So yeah, talk to you tomorrow probably, because I'm gonna call it a day for now, I think. Yeah. Alrighty, so everything went according to plan. I went to sleep yesterday and didn't finish the mod yesterday, but I did finish adding all of the things, or at least almost all of the things I intended to add to the mod in this update today. As you can see, this is the last and final structure. This is the mountain shrine. I pretty much just added that. I checked it out, and as you can see, it's all in working order. It's working as intended. It's generating in the mountains. This should be mountain biome, I sure hope. Yes, it is. This is a Lost Hope mountain. This is pretty much just on the border of the mountain, but it can generate anywhere in the mountains. It, by the way, can also generate in the spiky mountains. So yeah, it can generate pretty much anywhere in the mountains. And with that, I pretty much added the last and final thing I want to add in this update to the game. So I added forests, the skeletons, and these nice little shrines, the mountain shrines and the forest shrines. And that's about it. That's all I want to add in this update for now. I've got a couple other minor things on my to-do list that I haven't added yet actually, but I'm probably gonna add those either in the next update or maybe never, I don't know. They aren't too important, and I'm not entirely sure whether I actually even still want to add those things. For example, I have noted down that I want to add another structure that generates in every biome, but honestly, after looking around a bit, I found quite a lot of structures actually, so they do generate quite frequently. I remembered that they didn't generate as frequently, that was what I had in mind, but they do actually generate pretty frequently, so you can find structures all over the place, so I'm not entirely sure whether I even need or should need to add or should add another new small little loot structure. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I thought to myself that the mountains and forests definitely need a bit more structure variety, which is why I added these two new structures now. Anyways, yeah, that's that. On top of that, that's this update done pretty much. There are a couple small things missing still, but I'm not going to cover those in this video. For example, I haven't added proper loot tables yet to these chests right here. I'm gonna do that off camera in a second, but that's nothing that's too important, I guess. At least in my opinion, that's not really that interesting or important, so I'm just gonna do that off camera, and then I'm gonna release the mod soon, and this video will probably also be linked on the mod page, obviously, for pretty much obvious reasons. But yeah, that's this first devlog video all done. It's gotten quite long actually. It's probably around 30 to 40 minutes long, this video right now, which I'm sorry for that, but yeah, I'm kind of bad at managing time stuff, especially considering this is the very first devlog video ever. I intended for this video to get like 10 minutes long, but now it's like more like half an hour long or something like that. But yeah, I hope you can forgive me in regards to that, and yeah, also feel free to leave a like, a comment, or most importantly a sub probably, because this channel is quite new and I intend to upload loads of other new content and stuff on this channel, so it would be much appreciated if you could just drop me a sub. That would be really big, honestly, really great, and I would be very thankful and grateful for that. And yeah. Alright, so this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching once again, and hopefully see you soon. Probably in my next video, or in some other video of mine, or something like that. Or someplace else entirely, for example, my Twitter account or something. But yeah, that's that on top of that. See ya!